Medjugorje on the way to Podboro. And what is your name?
Paul Ford O'Neill.
Where are you from?
Seattle, Washington, United States of America.
Wow, far from here. You came
Yes,
a long way.
I did.
And why did you come the first time to Medjugorje?
20 years ago I came here because I was just looking to live in Europe, and I had been given a reference to Medjugorje through some authors in America. Being Catholic, I said, well, that's an interesting place. Let's go see what's happening there. So I came here in 1997 at Christmas time, about now, and stayed for 4 years.
Wow, directly stayed for 4 years.
Yes.
Wow. And why did you stay for 4 years? What happened?
Well, I met people that I liked. They liked me, and there were things to do here in the country. It was just after the war. I taught at the University of Mostar for 6 months. Got to meet people from all over the country, students from all over the country. And then I just put together people, and primarily, as an example, parishes, like in Italy, with parishes here in Herzegovina, so that the refugees from the war could obtain materials to rebuild and things like that after the war. So it was just a kind of a one-to-one basis activity outside of government and formal circles.
How beautiful. And how did you hear the first time about Medjugorje?
Somewhere early in the 1980s, maybe 1982,
Right.
somebody in our church said something about, oh, we just heard the Blessed Mother is appearing to some children in Yugoslavia. I said, oh, Yugoslavia. Oh, I just visited Italy 3 years before, and I said, gee, I was thinking of driving through Yugoslavia on my way back from Greece, but time constraints wouldn't allow it, so we had to fly. So I thought, oh yeah, I should investigate that. So I did a little investigation, but then it was the middle of hard economic times and whatnot in the United States, so it was something that got put in the back of the hard drive.
Uh-huh. Oh, very interesting. And then you stayed 4 years. And what could you tell people? What is so special about Medjugorje?
I will tell you about what happened after those 4 years. When I came back here in October of 2020, the next day after I checked into the same house where I had been living, a individual named Ivan comes driving up in his car and says, Paul, how are you? I said, oh, Ivan, I haven't seen you in 18 years. How are you? He says, I have a present for you. He opens his trunk and he pulls out 2 suitcases and a box of my wardrobe, which I had left with him 18 years before, which he had to hide in his basement so his wife wouldn't get mad and tell him to throw it out. And so my complete wardrobe, my complete winter wardrobe, including this jacket right here, was waiting for me when I came back.
Yeah,
that's why I like Medjugorje.
That's like the provision by God, no? You can feel God. Is it true?
Absolutely.
That a lot of people said that, like, you can feel heaven is touching earth here. Is that true?
Yeah, to a great degree, that's very, very true. There's an old interesting saying of the local bakas, local grandmas. They say, Our Lady is on the hills and the devil is in the village. So there's a spiritual touch of both, believe me. But of course, Our Lady is here.
Yeah.
And she is very tender with people. And just interesting things happen where something suddenly just clicks into place. And it's like, wow, gee, I didn't expect that to happen. And then boom, you're off and running. Well, it's not so religious, but when I lived in the United States, I ran free trade zones, foreign trade zones. And I always thought, boy, this would be a great place because it's right in the center of Europe and it's the end of the Great Silk Road. They should have foreign trade zones here. Well, just the other day, a company, which I'll just leave private for now, called me up and said, come tell us about foreign trade zones. And I think, oh, gee whiz. I asked those guys a year ago if they were interested. Well, a year later, click at the right moment. So
all in divine timing, no?
Well, what did she say? This is my time in one of her messages. This is my time, and so her time is our time. So it's not quite as easy as just kind of waiting around for something to happen. But it's too convenient sometimes. You just think, wow, that phone call came at a very appropriate time. So I'm literally going over now to do a little bit more research. So I'm ready for a meeting with these people tomorrow. Uh-huh. That's practical application of Our Lady's messages, which are be my extended hands to everybody you meet, right?
So. How beautiful, how beautiful. It's like you said, the old lady told me that with Our Lady everything becomes simple. Like the
Oh
phone
yes,
became simple,
yes,
no?
yes, very much so. What it comes down to is you have to have faith, and you have to shut up and just wait. Just don't push the envelope. Don't push too hard. Hey, she knows what you need. Her son knows what we need, and she'll ask at the right time.
How beautiful! That's what I said. What I think so too.
Now, our next time,
Yeah.
one more question. Go ahead.
Yeah, you said there was a man who experienced his son experienced big.
Oh yeah,
healing.
yes. The healings here in Medjugorje are very well documented by the parish, and also by a private group here from the United States. And there was over here in Biakovici, there is a church that's built over here, Queen of Peace, or it used to be called Queen of Peace Church, but they've taken the name off. The Beatitudes community now has it. A Belgian man built that in the 1980s, 85 or 86, because he was so grateful that his son had been cured of cancer when he came here to pray in Medjugorje. So this church is a testament to the idea that, yeah, there are miraculous healings that go on here. I can't at the moment think of any offhand out here in the middle of the vineyards today, but there are,
beautiful.
there are many that happen.
And what would you tell people? Why should they come to Medjugorje?
No, they come to Medjugorje first of all to decompress from modern world, to turn off the smartphones. No, we're the dummies using the smartphones. To just turn all that off, to turn off all the eyewash and all the background noise that somebody else wants us to hear and see, and then just listen, pray, listen, fast so you can control your appetites. That's the most difficult part. And then, suddenly that moment will click, and you'll go, why didn't I think of that? Well,
how beautiful. Thank you so much for the testimony. God bless you. And this was Tom and Paul.
And we'll talk again.
We talk again. Bye bye for now.
Okay.